Start by giving all praises to the Most High, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, and the Holy Spirit, who taught us his truth. Honors to the brethren that's laboring doing the work to push the gospel, risking their life and freedom to do so. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, which will be 1/3 of us Israelites, according to the scriptures, who would be the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians today, who will be seeking their salvation by returning back to the Most High, by hearing and believing on his word, so that he will have mercy on us in judgment. So we back with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. This lesson is going to be titled, Many Have Sinned for a Small Matter. Again, many have sinned for a small matter. And the focus of this lesson will be the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip that will go in the right hand, and the Elon Musk Neuralink brain chip that will go in the forehead, which would be the region in and around the brain. And we see they bringing about this cashless digital society. There's many more ways to pay than there was before. Now you can just tap your credit card, you can wave your credit card, you can scan your palm, etc. And also too, the mark of the beast that go in the forehead, Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chip. It was reported some weeks back that the first human patient received the brain chip, and it showed promising results. So now we're going to see some more details on a procedure, on how this Neuralink brain chip can be implanted around the brain. And we're going to see the person who actually got the brain chip, and a few people actually, and the things they've been able to do. All right, so I got a string of video clips that different brothers in the truth uploaded. Shalom and Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Barakadah to them brothers. So let's get with this first clip.
This is an electrocorticography grid, which is attached to a pedestal, which is screwed onto the participant's skull. Anne is the very first person to have this combination.
On the screen, you'll see decoded text, speech, and avatar.
When Anne was 30 years old, she had a stroke, which led to Lockton syndrome.
Hey, Anne, how's it going?
It is good to see you.
That's the first time we've ever had a conversation using this system.
If you are able to produce text, synthesize speech, and then also a personalized avatar, she believes that would really advance her ability to become a counselor and to work with people.
I thought it would be good for me.
How can we create technology that can help people really meaningfully contribute with all sorts of ability?
I think you are wonderful.
The device is...
All right, so this first one here, a lady had a stroke, and pretty much she wasn't able to talk. But with this Neuralink brain chip, she was able to think what she wanted to say, and the brain chip, took that information, them brain waves, and converted her thoughts to words, which was then spoken, by a robotic voice. So let's watch one more time.
An electrocorticography grid, which is attached to a pedestal, which is screwed onto the participant's skull. Anne is the very first person to have this combination.
On the screen, you'll see decoded text, speech, and avatar.
When Anne was 30 years old, she had a stroke, which led to Lockton syndrome.
Hey, Anne, how's it going?
It is good to see you.
That's the first time we've ever had a conversation using this system.
If you are able to produce text, synthesize speech, and then also a personalized avatar, she believes that would really...
All right, so y'all saw that, and that's allowing the woman to speak, by the Neuralink brain chip. Now let's get to the next clip.
This device is made to be inserted into the brain, allowing people living with paralysis to control their phones, computers, and beyond using only their thoughts.
I can talk to you with my thoughts.
We visited Synchron headquarters to get a demo of how it's inserted into the brain without the need for open brain surgery.
So I'm just going to open this, and then this is going to go up through the jugular vein, up into the brain. Now we deploy the device.
Once in position inside the brain, the Synchron switch can detect the user's intent to move and transmit it wirelessly to take the desired action.
Stare at it and think about moving for a long time, and it'll start zooming in. Yeah, and release. So you made a click, your first click with your breath.
For our full story on Synchron, check out cnet.com.
All right, so we're going to watch this one more time. And what we saw here actually wasn't the Neuralink brain chip. It was a form of the brain chip that would allow paralyzed people to move and people who are mute to be able to speak. You know, taking people's thoughts and converting it into words or actions. But let's watch it one more time.
Twitter.
This device is made to be inserted into the brain, allowing people living with paralysis to control their phones, computers, and beyond using only their thoughts.
I can talk to you with my thoughts.
We visited Synchron headquarters to get a demo of how it's inserted into the brain without the need for open brain surgery.
So I'm just going to open this, and then this is going to go up through the jugular vein, up into the brain. Now we deploy the device.
Once in position inside the brain, the Synchron switch can detect the user's intent to move and transmit it wirelessly to take the desired action.
Stare at it and think about moving for a long time, and it'll start zooming in. Yeah, and release. So you made a click, your first click with your breath.
For our full story on Synchron, check out cnet.com.
All right, so that's why the first Edomite said, through the robotic voice, I'm able to speak to you with my thoughts. He's able to think what he's want to say in this form of the brain chip, take those thoughts and convert it into words, which is spoken by a robotic voice. And the second Edomite, who was able to operate a computer just by his thoughts, they told him stare at the screen and you will zoom in on that part of the screen. You know, think where you want to move the mouse, and the mouse or the cursor will go to that area on the screen. And this is concerning the Neuralink brain chip. Neuralink is just one of many companies that's going to be putting brain chips in people. All right, so now we're going to look at a few videos concerning the RFID microchip, you know, that goes in the right hand. So let's check this one out.
请抬起手指，准备第二枚指纹，请放左手拇指。
来，手来了，手来，快，我们玩完喽，玩一下就好，玩一下哦，来，这样，来，玩比战，比战吗？比战，快点。
请抬起手指，准备第二枚指纹，请放左手拇指。
All right, so you see they fingerprinting babies over there in China. But that's just the build up to the mark of the beast. Because let's read Revelation 13-16 real quick. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man, no body, might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you won't be able to buy or sell, operate, or function in society without first having this mark of the beast, the RFID microchip that go in the right hand, which should be a digital wallet, digital ID, your keys to your car and your house. It'll hold all your documentation, credit report, criminal history, medications, all of that. And, ultimately, it's about control. That's how we know, everybody being fingerprinted ain't the final step. You can't do nothing with fingerprints. You can't buy and sell with fingerprints. But you can buy and sell with this RFID microchip, which will hold the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, the cryptocurrency that the government is going to roll out after the dollar collapses. And then also, too, you can't track people with fingerprints, but you can track them with the RFID microchip, which emits a radio frequency that will register with the 5G towers, kind of like GPS tracking. So this fingerprinting stuff, retina scans, facial recognition, palm scanning that we seeing, throughout the earth, that's not the final step. The final step is the RFID microchip, because all these other forms of biometric identification, it has its limitations, such as fingerprinting. Let's say you burn your fingers. Let's say you lose your hand. Let's say you cut yourself. Now your fingerprints is messed up for life. That's why the RFID microchip is the answer. Now let's get to the next clip.
In New York City, you can now buy something without a phone, a credit card, cash, anything. You enter the store with your palm. You can register your palm once at any Whole Foods, and they will pair your palm to your credit card. Once you grab an item, the store uses weight sensors to know something was taken, combines it with camera technology to know that it was you, and charges you as you walk out the store. No staff, no cards, no cash.
Let's watch that again.
In New York City, you can now buy something without a phone, a credit card, cash, anything.
You can buy without cash, without credit card, without your phone. By what? Just scanning your palm, which has limitations, such as if you burn or cut yourself. Not to mention, there's like 3D printing where you could print off a replica of somebody's palm with all the ridges and fingerprints and stuff that person has.
Enter the store with your palm. You can register your palm once at any Whole Foods, and they will pair your palm to your credit card. Once you grab an item, the store uses weight sensors to know something was taken, combines it with camera technology to know that it was you, and charges you as you walk out the store.
See, and this is not the final step, palm scanning. Because remember, Revelation 13:17, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the beast in the right hand. Because you can't track and trace nobody with palm scanning. And after the dollar collapse, this form of payment will be obsolete. Because although he's not using cash on deck, meaning physical paper money or a debit or a credit card, it said you can register his palm, meaning his palm will be linked, to a debit card, to a credit card, to a bank account that uses what? US dollars. Well, guess what? The US dollar is going to collapse and be no more. So even this here will be obsolete. It will be no more. Now, that was it for that clip. Now, let's see what we got next. I believe we watched that. Okay, I got a little article right here. It reads, "No more lost keys, ID cards, Dubai to implant microchip in hand." So the first thing that stands out, this is not in America. This is in Dubai. So let's hit Revelation 13:16 again. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." But when it says he causeth all, meaning what? He's going to mandate, he's going to require by law to receive this mark in the right hand and in the foreheads. And this is not a choice when it says or, it's actually both. You know, one way or another, they're going to get you to get microchips in your hand and in your forehead, plus many more microchips. And it says that what? That no man might buy or sell. That's how they're going to enforce this by law, that you can't buy or sell, function in society, save he that had the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, the brain chip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. But again, he gonna cause or mandate or require all small grave report free and bond. So this is not just concerning in America, because it says he's gonna cause all. This is all people on earth, no matter the country, no matter the continent, no matter the island. So people think they can just leave America to run from the mark of the beast. Mark of the beast is a global agenda. It's going to be a global system. It's going to be everywhere you at. So yeah, there's nowhere you can run to escape this prophecy. It's a global agenda. So yeah. And let's get some of this article. And also on the title, it said no more lost keys, no more ID cards. See how this lines up perfectly with this picture? And this would RFID microchip, the mark of the beast would be what? Your digital wallet, your digital ID, your digital key. She will soon be able to unlock her car or the door to her home with just her hand. That's why they have smart cars, smart vehicles. That's why they have smart homes, smart houses. You know, that stuff don't necessarily require a physical actual key. But you can lock or unlock the door to your home or to your vehicle just by waving your hand. Now let's see what jumps out in this article. Goodbye to the days of fumbling with a bunch of keys or worrying about misplacing them. See, yeah, and that's the point. Matter of fact, let's jump to the scripture real quick. We're gonna hit the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 27. We're gonna start at verse 1. Many have sinned for a small matter, which is the title of the lesson. Now, this is not talking about sin transgressing the law. This is talking about something specific, because it says many have sinned. Actually, when it comes to transgressing the law, all people have sinned, not just many, which lets you know this is not just talking about the commandments. So again, many have sinned for a small matter. Now, what is this sin that's being talked about? Let's continue reading in verse 2. And he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. As the nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. So the sin that's talked about here, many have sinned for a small matter, would be the sin that's going to stick close between buying and selling. So to understand this, let's look at the first part, which is the parable. As the nail sticketh fast between the joinings of stones. Say you're building a building. You got two planks of wood. You want to connect those wooden planks. You want to join them together. So what? You would put a nail in between them to join them together. Now the planks would be linked. That's another word. To join is to link. So the sin stick close between buying and selling. So what's going to be the link that allows you to buy and sell? It's going to be this sin. This sin is that nail, that link that will allow you to buy and sell. And what's that particular sin? Revelation 13:16. He calls all, both small, great, rich, or poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand in the forehead. And that's why it says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. So it's actually a sin to get this RFID microchip. And it's that sin that stick close between buying and selling. That's why Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell. Same things mentioned here. So do sin or receiving the mark of the beast stick close between buying and selling. Even when you read the beginning of verse 2, as the nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones. Yeah, you could use a nail to join two planks of wood, two stones together. But what is this nail actually talking about? It's actually the syringe that will implant the RFID microchip into the hand. And what's between the joinings of the stones? That's between your bones. And that's why when you look at here, you got that nail that's going to go in between the stones, being the bones, which is that syringe that would eject the RFID microchip. But going back up, many have sinned for a small matter. Yeah, because people already got this RFID microchip, even though it's not required. Because remember, Revelation 13 and 16, he's going to cause all to get this mark. Well, Esau the white man has not mandated the RFID microchip yet. People just getting it for extracurricular activities. They getting it for unnecessary conveniences. For what? For small matters. For stuff that don't matter. Oh, and let's read some more of this article to get more on this point that many have sinned, received this nail, this mark of the beast for a small matter. So, goodbye to the days of fumbling with a bunch of keys or worrying about misplacing them for this Dubai resident. So yeah, this Dubai resident is excited to get the RFID microchip just so she ain't got to look for her keys no more. Just so she ain't got to misplace her wallet or her purse anymore. And that's part of the theme behind this mark of the beast. They saying it's the answer to identity theft. It's the answer to your, debit card being lost. And somebody swiping your card, stealing your money, stealing your wallet. They say the RFID microchip is the answer to that. But in this case here, she just worried about misplacing her keys. So what? Many have sinned for a small matter. Many have received the RFID microchip for a small matter. Now let's continue. This resident is ready to embrace a future without keys, only a microchip implanted in her right hand. So she tired of carrying house keys, car keys, etc. Now she just want to carry only a microchip implanted into her hand. As the nail sticketh fast between the joinings of stone, so the sin stick close between buying and selling. Now, let's see what else stands out in this article. A tiny radio frequency identification chip, an electronic tag, roughly the size of a grain of rice, will be surgically implanted in the back of her hand using a syringe. That's that nail. As the nail stick fast between two stones, so the sin stick by what? Stick by using a syringe. Let's see what else we can get up out of here. It will be implanted. Excuse me, this damn thing tripping. It will be implanted in the fleshy part of my skin on the back of my hand, she explained, so that I can unlock my car or unlock the door to my house or gym. See, many have sinned for a small matter. It's going to be people that take the mark of the beast so they ain't got to fumble a bunch of keys. There's going to be people who get this mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, just so they can quickly unlock their house to their smart home or gain access, to gyms and access to other things that will require it eventually. So again, many have sinned for a small matter. People are already jumping up and down to get the RFID microchip when it ain't even required. It ain't even been mandated yet. See, Breyer said she is collaborating with Smart Home Management. See that? We done said that, that's why you got smart homes and smart vehicles. That ain't for your convenience. That's about control. It's to, bridge the gap to condition you to eventually get the RFID microchip. And that's the spirit, because I haven't even read this article. Breyer mentioned although she won't immediately have the capability to pay for purchases by simply hovering her hand over a scanner at a checkout counter, she's eagerly anticipating being on the waiting list for the payment-enabled chips. So these chips are programmable. They're going to have many functions that's going to give you access to everything in society, to buy, to sell, to have access to grocery stores, etc. So yeah, many have sinned for a small matter. Now, something else I want to look at, again, many have sinned for a small matter. So people are already getting the RFID microchip. And then I got a video we're going to play at the end of somebody who got the brain chip. And the only thing he could talk about once he got the brain chip that he did was play video games. Yeah, the man was paralyzed or something. But Americans are damn near paralyzed anyway, because they so damn lazy. It's like they paralyzed. And what they do all day, play video games on the computer. And that's what the Edomite did. So, he got the brain chip. He didn't talk about how he could move, how he could control, he didn't talk about nothing except playing the video game. So again, many have sinned for a small matter. Rather get the RFID microchip so you don't got to carry a bunch of keys, so you can just wave your hand to unlock your smart car or your smart home, or you get the Neuralink brain chip just so you can play video games with your mind all day. Because people that's paralyzed, etc. like that, they can't even really play video games. They're very limited. So these people get some function back. And the first thing they want to do is play video games. That's why it says many have sinned for a small matter. Extracurricular activities, unnecessary conveniences. So how much more would they sin for greater matters? And what would them greater matters be? We're going to hit Ecclesiasticus. I think this is 39. We're going to start at verse 26. The principal thing for the whole use of a man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. So again, many have sinned for a small matter. Extracurricular activities, unnecessary conveniences, BS, things that's not required for life, things that's not principle or the necessities of life. So if they sin for a small matter, how much more would they sin for a greater matter, the things necessary for life, eating and drinking, which everybody has the right to eat and drink, and Esau gonna take that right away from you. So if people is getting these RFID microchips right now, while the tree is green, what should be done in the dry? For if they do these things in the green tree, when society is still functioning normally? What should they do in the dry when society is no longer functioning? When the stores go empty, when they cut the water off, when the lights go out, when you can't have access, privileges, rights here in America that you get the RFID microchip. So again, if many have sinned for a small matter, meaning got the microchip for BS in the green tree, how many more gonna get it in the dry tree when Esau take away your right to live, to eat, drink, and to just be in the earth? And then what's a greater matter than even food and water? It's your own life. Because Esau gonna actually be putting people to death who refuse the mark of the beast. And let's show that. Revelation 13. We're gonna go straight to the point. We're gonna hit Revelation 20 and 4. Because again, many have sinned for a small matter. So how much more for a greater matter? Things necessary for life. But how much more would people sin when their life is on the line? And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded, cut off, for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of Yahweh, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, the brain chip, or in their right hands, the RFID microchip. And they live and reign with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So again, John is saying he saw the souls of the people that were beheaded for not worshiping the beast, for not receiving the mark of the beast in the right hand and the forehead. Meaning what? They're going to be executing people who say no to the chip. So again, if they sin for a smaller matter, just so they can play video games with their mind, just so they ain't got to carry car keys no more, just so they can look cool and just wave their hand at the cash register. They ain't got to wait in line no more. Those are small matters. That's foolishness. How much more for a greater matter? Just for a bite to eat or a sip of water. But how much even more when your life is on the line? Now, let's get into this video right here. We'll play maybe like the first 5-6 minutes of it. It's real interesting. This will be one of the guys who got the RFID microchip. He's going to talk about his experience. You're going to see him control a computer.
Alright, we should be streaming live here. Hello world, how's it going out there? My name is Bliss and I'm an engineer at Neuralink. And I'd like to introduce you to the first ever user of the Neuralink device. And I think you're my only telekinetic friend that I have.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not many more of those out there. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Nolan Arbaugh. I'm 29 years old. About 8 years ago, I was in kind of a freak diving accident and dislocated my C4, C5. So I'm a complete quadriplegic. So I'm paralyzed from below the shoulders. I have no sensation or movement below my level of injury, so below my shoulders. Yeah, that about covers it, right?
Do you want to introduce some of your dogs here? Let me flip the camera so you guys can see. We got dogs all over the place.
Yeah, that's Montana. The one walking by is Grace. Gracie!
Gracie, come here.
Hi, Grace.
How's it going, Gracie? Yeah. Alright.
This is what people do.
Yeah, they just here for the dogs. Alright, yeah, so while he's been introducing himself, let me just flip the camera on so you can see what Nolan's been doing.
Yeah.
Let me come over here. Do you want to explain a little bit what's going on here?
Yeah, so I love playing chess, and so this is one of the things that y'all have enabled me to do, something that I wasn't able to really do much the last few years, especially not like this. I had to use like a mouse stick and stuff, but now it's all being done with my brain. If y'all can see the cursor moving around the screen, that's all me, y'all. It's pretty cool, huh?
Actually, can you pause the song just for the audio coming through? And that was also done with your brain?
Yep. It's all brain power up there.
Can you explain a little bit just to people who maybe don't have any context on this field or what's going on here? How are you able to actually move the cursor?
Yeah, so we started out with trying out a few different things. We basically went from what we call kind of differentiating like imagined movement versus attempted movement. So a lot of what we started out with was attempting to move. So I would attempt to move, say, my right hand, left, right, forward, back, and from there, I think it just became intuitive for me to start imagining the cursor moving. Basically, it was like using the force on the cursor, and I could get it to move wherever I wanted. Just stare somewhere in the screen, and it would move where I wanted it to, which was such a wild experience.
This guy wants to know if you feel like a wizard.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. It really is. It's so cool. I'm so freaking lucky to be a part of this and stuff. I mean, every day it seems like we're learning new stuff, and I just can't even describe how cool it is to be able to do this.
Do you want to briefly talk about a little bit, I guess, what have you been using this for outside of these sort of research sessions, or when you're just playing chess, or some of the things you've been getting value from this?
Yeah, so one of the first times y'all gave me complete control over this, I actually stayed up until, I don't know, like 6 a.m. playing Civilization 6. It was worth it, I guess is the best way to put it. It was awesome. I had basically given up on playing that game just because of how, it's a big game, and the amount of time that it takes to sit in on it it's just a lot, and I have to worry about a lot of things, getting pressure sores and things like that. So I just wasn't really able to play it as much as I wanted to, and y'all gave me the ability to do that again, and I played it for, like 8 hours that day. So I do that.
It's like 6 p.m. to like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
it
was a lot.
I'm giving you all my bad habits, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it was awesome. So I did that. I read. I like learning languages. I'm learning like Japanese right now. I'm learning a bit of French.
Maybe for the audience who isn't super familiar with assistive technology, why couldn't you play Civ before? What was tricky about that, or what was it about Neuralink that made that possible?
Yeah, so one of the big things, honestly, was that I think I just got checked. The only way I could play it was through pad, and that didn't allow me to play online at all, so that kind of sucked to begin with. But
Did you play that like at 2 a.m.?
See, he got the Neuralink brain chip, which is one part of the mark of the beast. All he could talk about is video games. So what? Many have sinned for a small matter. So people is already getting this mark of the beast for extra conveniences, extracurricular activities that don't matter. So many have sinned for a small matter. Many more gonna sin for greater matters. Many more gonna sin to what? To save their life. And this will be Mark chapter 8. I think we're gonna hit verse 37. 36. For what should it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And that's pretty much what you're doing when you get this mark of the beast. You're selling your soul, your birthright. You despising, you selling yourself for destruction. And then when you get this mark of the beast, you don't gain the whole world. You just get access, to a few conveniences, a few extracurricular activities. Because in this new world order, you still gonna own nothing. So this mark of the beast, people gonna be, losing their soul to gain nothing. But yet many have sinned for a small matter. How many more, when it's forced upon you? So that's it for this lesson here. Till next time, Shalom.